Hello, good afternoon. You're welcome to Be Frank, the only Christian podcast that is frank about all the current happenings that is going on around us. My name is Smart Teaching Nixon. I'm sitting in for Apostle Francis Agenasari. There's actually the show that you need to call your friends and family to gather around because this conversation is very, very important. In the studios with me are my favorite friends almost all the time. We are here to dissect the issues that are happening in the country and also abroad. This particular issue doesn't just affect Ghanaians. It affects a lot of people. It's actually one of the bane of society. Someone would say, even as a Christian, people still have certain biases towards other people. But the influence we need in every relationship, the question is, where should it come from? Should it come from the church? Should it come from the family? Should it come from friends? Or it should come from the type of work that we choose? Today, we are focusing on family influence in relationship. One is asking, is it a necessity or it's a border? In the studio with me is Lucy is here, International Akuma.
Hi.
How's it going, man?
Good.
Nice. You're coming into the studio with a lot of fire from GW.
I know, right?
How's it going there?
Power packed. It's
Power
really
packed.
Great over there.
Nice. Ginger is here with the Buckingham Palace brooch and
Oh, guy.
Ginger.
Oh, Jai.
Sale, pressure. Anane say.
We have to be happy she came
We have
back.
to be happy she came back.
Because
I didn't have disappeared. Glory be to
Some people
God.
left and they didn't come. And those who were
members
sent
joined.
to bring them
Oh, also
went
vanished.
and
Charlie.
Someone say,
It is for the vanishing.
Ghana is the place to be. And also in the studio is my man KB, the MC.
Yay.
Charlie KB, how's it going, man? How's the week been?
Some Ghana food festival here and there.
Yeah. Hey, Charlie, boys, they cash out.
Oh, it's done.
It's done.
Lagos
Now one
people.
can't you be oh you drown.
No, what's it? You better on the hall.
I wanted to the food.
Oh.
It's all about the food. Though.
When people were handling food, you were handling microphone.
I know, right?
Charlie,
And also Pastor Newton is here, God's favorite chairperson.
Yay.
Pastor Newton. And then we might be a different intro.
Wow.
Yeah. This topic is big, but before we delve deep into the topic, I want to show you something. For quite some time, I've been talking about the fact that Ghana's problem is Ghana's people. I chanced on a video that my wife sent me, and I want to share it with the Ghanaian populace. Education is key, and so let's all educate ourselves. Let's take a look at this particular video. We'll come back to the studio to delve deep into the topic.
Ghana, Obia corrupt. Omo mutonto ande nyina me so Obia corrupt. Ofu se wanya no fu woni hono masa ono ofa kwan bi so abechi wo. Me hu tomatoes wo kwan so na me say ma mentor because tomatoes boy e dim akra. Ti me hu se na wa share the man wo bucket no me ka say ni nyina tomatoes. Ma nye careful anka ma mi obeti mi. Me share tomatoes ko kwani kra me am yi nti me yesa mi ba be ma me no oji o be so twe ade ne free me nsa. Or treat at the end of my minister, me go so as some to say, hey, son, I'm a born to ma and to make a siapa and or the 2 buckets now say. And the buckets now one sano and to much buckets in half. And already tomatoes now go so and all 12 man for and to open them now to care when I see for me if you care more. Massa with the abu and run say what she bag of money, I want to say why we fuck up. Me share na de no mo entuma na yabobo e de ato bucket mu na yasesa tomatoes na go so.
God bless our homeland Ghana.
make it great and strong.
And make it great and strong.
Yeah.
If I say it in the studio, a lot of people disagree with me. But Ghana's problem is Ghana's people.
It's true.
It's not just the politicians. We all have a role to play in developing this nation. Almost every person. In fact, that connects to my morning devotion today. I was reading the Psalm chapter 50 and Psalm 51 as well. It says that, and all are corrupt. There is none good among them. Yes, sir.
But we are the same people that become the politicians.
That's what I keep saying all the time. So if we don't get it right with us, we can never get it right with leadership. I think that is the mindset that people should begin to see. that until we get it right with us, we can never get it right with leadership. But the topic for today, we're doing 11 minutes into the hour of 2. If you just tuned in, we are live on Precious Television. We're also live on Facebook at Precious TV Official and also on YouTube at Precious TV Official. Ginger is here, Lucy is here, KBDMC, and Pastor Newton. Family influence in relationship. We close the chapter on church, work, and faith. Now we are delving into another facet of conversation. Something that caught my attention was a friend that shared a story of a lady that has brought 3 men home, and all these 3 guys are from a particular tribe. And the mother says, if it is this tribe, no. As we speak, the lady is 38 and she's still praying to find somebody from another tribe. But interestingly enough, you might hear it as a joke. All the people that approach her, that really express interest in her, are from the tribe that the mother doesn't like. So we are discussing this in the studio. The family influence in relationships. Is it a necessity or it is a bother? I'll start from the camp of God's very own chairperson, Pastor Newton. Pastor Newton.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the whole conversation about. We all know that when a relationship begins, a lot of people have a say in it. It could be the church, it could be even your boss at work. People that have interest in you begin to give different types of counsel. Scripture also admonishes us that in the multitude of counsel there is safety. Okay. But here is the case where you can tell that someone's interest is blocking maybe your breakthrough or moving to the next stage of life. How do we go about things like this? And as a pastor, many of this may have come to your table.
Yeah.
How have you handled it?
Okay, so first of all, these things that parents or some of these people bring up, like with the example you gave, it stems from either ethnicity, people who are tribalistic, or past experiences. Because I've also encountered such before, and me, the funny thing was, the person was from my tribe, and my tribe said they don't want that tribe.
Oh yeah.
Yes, so that encounter was there. So for me, I will not use another person. So for me, I left it to the person to convince their parents, because it was out of experiences that the parents had with that tribe. For me, I also experienced that parents also experienced, but I chose to be a Christian.
Okay.
I chose to be a Christian. Like I will go blunt. So it's the Ewe tribe. And me, I used to have this pride that if I meet my fellow Ewe, I want to identify. But almost the share many papa mama showdown somewhere where it's like I met I've met Smart.
Okay.
We're talking and Smart had a coin. I heard he spoke Ewe. So I said, oh, this is my brother. We're vibing. And something happened it was in the university. And I thought I could confide in Smart, so I told Smart what happened. And no, Smart, they call me my. So when the matter came up, and Nipa no call me my, so Chiremu said Smart never kind.
Right.
And I said, oh. So all of a sudden, the matter became serious. They could have expelled me from University of Ghana.
Oh, wow.
And he took a gun. And you see how it happened I used to have this bias towards guns. And God used them to save me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then I decided to remove ethnicity, tribalistic from my mind. When I go anywhere, if you're in Nigeria, if you're Frafra, I relate to you like I'm one of you because of that happening. So what I would advise is that we should be Christians. These things that the mother or whatever is doing to this girl, surprisingly will be a Christian. And pastors or his or her church pastor would have spoken to her that maybe if what happened to you, you think would happen to your daughter, the men that may be coming may not be the same. Some is because of, as I said, past experiences. Or that tribe beneath. I remember my uncle told me not to be like that with a certain tribe because they were doing national service and they were living in the same compound. And the person insulted him in that person's language, and he went to ask, and he realized that it was a demeaning insult, and because of that, he had that anger. And when my cousin was going to marry from that tribe, till date, my uncle never came for that. Where the naming ceremony has never come.
This is lost.
But he's an elder too in church.
Ah.
And so me, when we meet as family and he comes, I always say, so sometimes when I'm in church with him and they are doing altar call, I want to tell him he should go. Because he's not born again. Because you have to bear the fruit of God. Because if you check scripture, the Bible says that Jesus Christ didn't come to die for a particular tribe.
Yeah.
His death cuts across for every race, every tribe, every language, everything. So we shouldn't use that bias of past experiences or our own fears or idiosyncrasies to decide for a certain, because like you are saying, 3 men and they are all from the same tribe. What if the destiny of the lady is with that
It's
tribe?
not obvious.
Yes. So and you see, these are the same people that if she remains married for long or married for long, they will say that your time is passing. So we have to check that and have to be truly Christians, and I'll give people opportunity, because if it happened with you doesn't mean you are prophesying same for your daughter or something. Allow it and allow the Holy Spirit to work on people, because maybe these men who are coming are truly born again, that the fruits of Christ are in them. So what you thought you experienced with that tribe that you don't like, even funny enough, it's not even past experiences alone. What people have said
Mostly.
Yeah, like maybe what we are
hearsay.
saying. Maybe Smart has said something about Ewes. It's on my mind. Lucy has said something about, so when I meet them, I behave suspicious because you actually me say omuti say. But then what, as I always say, the Bible said there is no fear in love. So we should just open up and allow people. And with this thing I said, this mother-in-law who didn't like this tribe that the person is from has become the favorite. The son, that guy has become the favorite son-in-law.
of the in-law.
Favorite son-in-law, and she's surprised that she hasn't seen the guy doesn't relate with them as tribalistic. He sees all of them as Christians, and that is what is very, very important.
But KB, do you think that some of the concerns raised by some of the family members are justified, considering there are times where people have been cautioned, they have been told, and they took the step, and now they had to come back to the family home with the same story, and the family is like, well, we told you, you didn't listen. Can we say entirely that they are not justified, some of the concerns raised?
Well, of course they are justified, and most of these reservations are out of case studies, and unfortunately most of the case studies are not very as widespread and statistically analytic as it's supposed to. So it's because rumors, perception and stuff spread faster. And I was listening to a podcast, and the gentleman was like, he's a black gentleman, by the way. Sometimes people think when I listen to these things, I'm white man with all the knowledge in the world. Me and my Pan-African. He's an essay guy. He's a brand, so I might not want to mention. He says there are 5 levels of knowledge and information. The first one are opinions. The lowest.
The
lowest form of knowledge and information is opinion.
Okay.
Then theory. Then hypotheses. Then law before the truth. So sometimes law is law, but it's not the truth. So for example, I'm the last person the police found in the homicide scene or in the murder scene, but it doesn't mean
you are an accomplice
exactly.
to that crime.
So sometimes the opinions are not tested enough for us to make theories, to hypothesize the law, to find out the truth. So in ancient times, the reason why tribalism was more strong back in the day is that there was not enough cross-cultural exchange programs or studies and observations to really know that if we say this tribe is this, is actually the case. Yesterday I was online with a friend in New York, and she was like, KB, you'll be shocked. They keep asking me, do we have televisions? Do we even have cemeteries in Africa? Like, I was like, hello, this is 2024. She said, yes. And she used a certain expression. And I was shocked. But she was like, oh no, she's not shocked, because the Americans, a lot of them, America is all they know. So if we even transpose this conversation continentally, you'll be shocked that as tribal as we think Africans are, Americans and other are also same.
Oh, we saw it with the recent the match between South Sudan and the United States of America. A sports journalist in America says that the people were so poor that they were wearing Nike shoes, and he was shocked that they were wearing Nike shoes.
Meanwhile,
they
almost beat the American team. I watched the
it was 101 to 100.
Yes.
So that was just
with all the LeBron James, all the big guys in the NBA.
So the like the racism tag you talked about, it's not necessarily an African culture thing.
Yes.
It spans beyond.
So let me zoom back to what we are discussing. So the concerns are legitimate. Christian or no Christian, Bible or no Bible, church elder or no church elder, the concerns are legitimate. It's just that it has to be tested enough for the truth to come out. If a certain tribe is perceived a certain way, we have to test that hypothesis and find out the truth. We cannot assume that now that we are Christians, now that we are in the same confederacy, the same fraternity, let love lead. So I will not subscribe to that mindset. If a tribe is known to have a certain trait, they have to prove the world wrong. Africans have to prove the world wrong. South Sudan have to up their game to prove to the world that they can afford Nikes. If they are always seeing them with war today, this president won't agree. We're not going to sit down, maybe a cheat to it. That is the perception. That is the opinion. So before it gets to hypothesis theory and the rest, it will take a lot of effort. So people will naturally accept the opinion because that's the natural state of affairs. Nobody wants to break their inertia. So the reservation, it is legitimate. If you are listening to me and someone wants to marry your tribe and you are not sure about the tribe, investigate it. Don't wish it away.
Okay.
If you know they are stingy, investigate it and find out they are not. So and if they are, find out how the said gentleman from that tribe is not and is going to better your daughter, your whatever. So media, as far as I'm concerned, tribalism is important, but to a healthy degree. That's very controversial.
Could you please say that again?
Tribalism is important, but to a healthy degree. In other words, every tribe has to look out for itself. Okay. Every race has to look out for itself. Every human being has to look out for. I think it's just self-defense. So the incoming person, of course, when it's relationship, it's about love, it's not war. You that you are coming, you have to prove your entry point. That is why we have visas. That's why we have borders. Otherwise, then free for all, there will be no quality check and balances. So tribalism is key, but not in a negative sense that is connoted in Africa. It is important to ensure the prolonging of your beliefs, your values, and your tribe. But anybody who has to enter has to justify their inclusion.
That's very interesting. The last part you mentioned, it took my mind back to my literature class. Okay. So I was in class one day, and my literature lecturer just said something that I found it quite bizarre. But see, when I took a minute to think about it, I said, this woman could be right. She said, if you're getting into a relationship, marry someone from your tribe. Because when the argument is heated, they will speak their language. and if they speak their language and you don't understand, it will escalate your anger the more. And the worst of it, and this was the concluding part, the worst of it is when they call a family member and you are hearing your name one every 30 seconds. And they cut the call and you're like, babe, what were you saying? Oh, nothing. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
And for a point, I thought, this is a bizarre thought. I mean, how can you have this? Then, for a minute, I said, if you're really angry, you speak your dialect when you're really angry. Ginger, have you had any experience of this personally? Then you have had an experience of this.
I before the
So why is it that I don't know? I don't want us to make them the center. However, I think that they are on top when it comes to some of these analysis. Come again.
Dance need slightly.
Can I say something?
Okay. Is in my books.
Before you say it, let me talk to my producer quickly. I asked for a scripture in the book of Titus chapter 1 verse 12. Also, you would explain this. Now, there's a prophet of the Cretes. Okay. And in this scripture, he says one of Crete's own prophets, he said this about them.
Maybe.
He said that the Cretans are always liars. They are evil brutes and they are lazy gluttons.
Chai.
This is a prophet from the Cretes, and he had this to say about his own people. That is how come I was asking questions about the justification of certain concerns, because over time we have seen people exhibit certain traits and certain characters. And so they have come to be associated with, we can throw some of them out there. There are perceptions out there. Quails love money.
And they are chisel.
Okay. Well, I had a fancies are chisel. I mean, someone I dated, the father said, no.
You said it once here.
Yeah.
But yeah,
the father said, no, Fantis. We are
stingy.
Fantis are stingy and they don't take care of their children.
Rather.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
That's what I know about Airways.
Give me a fancy any day.
Yes. Anytime, any hour.
Give me a fancy
Any hour.
Please.
Yeah.
So, Ginger, share your thoughts on the matter.
So, I think mine is a unique perspective because of where I find myself originating from. I come from an interesting group of people who never seem to find their identity in the in the Ghanaian landscape, because people keep tagging us to different things. So I'm Guan.
Oh, okay. So one time you are Voltarian, another time you are Asante. Another people think that you are from the north. Oh yeah, true. You're struggling.
Yeah. Oh, I am. And until this demarcation of the region came, maybe that we are still struggling with it. Because every time I speak to somebody, I meet somebody new, and then we started. So I have to do a whole lecture
of
on
where
who
you
the
come
ones
from.
are. And I've been doing Wikipedia. Thank you, Wikipedia. You know, because I find myself. Mine is more. So when I was in school, those days it was still part of the Upper Volta, right? And my actual name doesn't help. I don't bear any name from that side of town. All my names are strictly Akan names. I wonder why my father picked those ones, but that's just by the way. So people felt I felt badly. I felt ashamed to identify as an Ewe. And what didn't help was the fact that I attended school in the Volta region. And during my stay there, I managed to learn how to speak the language so well that I can pass for a native, right? So this is me coming from the Volta region those days, and I speak Ewe. And I went to a school I went to Mauli school in the Volta region. So
okay.
When they said, no, I'm not Ewe. Then it becomes like a fight. So I was always on the defensive. And this one, it put me in a setting frame of mind, right? Okay. Because I've defended my heritage so much, it became a part of me that when I hear it, then right away my shackles are up. So much so that when I started dating, I intentionally stayed away from them because of the way I felt about it. But ironically, one of the best ones I had, I think those days was one of them. But
one of the best ones.
Relationships.
Okay.
Of course,
the way you are saying one of the best ones, it's like one of the goals.
Sorry, no. Because I realized then, and what I said was, I come from a background where my parents don't care, my people don't care. I think because of who we are, because we are everywhere. You know, we belong to nobody. We are just there in our corner minding our business. So my parents have no qualms, and this is as recently as on Monday I was having a conversation with my mother. From time to time I like to check her pulse to see if she's still maintaining that. And I asked her, okay, here's what. So what if I go out there and then this person follows? She's like, oh, so long as you are happy, I'm happy. Where you go, I will go. Okay. And I've had that with my dad before. My dad is also very, very, very
supportive.
He's very supportive. So my parents on that hand are good. Now I need to work on me.
Okay.
Because of my experiences. And I think sometimes we are quick to put the blame on the parents when the parents are simply how do you say it? They are shining a light on what we are that we are refusing to confront.
Okay.
So it's just there. We have our own biases based on our experiences. But then our parents give us an out. Or our family, let's extend it a bit. Or society for that matter. So quickly, as soon as it's actually not them. Sometimes we need to look inward, because a bunch of us have gone through things. We've been through SS, we've been through JSS, we've been through university, we've been through life, we've worked, even national service, and things have happened to us that subconsciously they are hiding. It just needs that thing. That spark to burn into a flame. So I have come to understand that, at least from my personal experience, it's we the individuals who have those biases. At least I do. Subconsciously, yes. Because you see, because we think we are self-aware, when these things happen to us, we like to process in the moment and feel it is gone. But it is not gone. A mark there's a mark. And every time you get bent, there is a mark. But because you think you are self-aware and you're able to process, you think you've not processed, you're not done processing. Because you see, these things are built over the years. And the worst part is the latest one. You're not aware it's happening. You are picking things up. You are picking it up. And it's there. So when the time comes and your parents start it, you realize that some people are very quick to get out of the relationship. Once the parents say no, but no matter, maybe some may have prayed about it. They may have had confirmation from God. Okay, here's what. This is it. But because of our subconscious biases that we've picked up over the years, based on maybe our friends' experiences,
relationship experience,
and also it gets worse when you attend school in this saturated places. Because in my school, for instance, I had all of them, right from as far as a flower and even Togo and beyond. They were in my school.
Okay.
And that I was in my school is like, it's a mixed school, so we have boys, we have girls, and you have them. We have the Vedumens, you have the Anglos, you have all of those ones, right from the whole people. And you see, it's interesting, but they are all different. There are subtle differences. And on a daily, you are interacting with these people. So you pick from here, you pick from here, you pick from there. And because you are in their midst, for the period that you are there, you are soaking. But you don't know you are soaking.
Okay.
Or you are soaking, you soak. I believe the same will happen for someone who went to say a certain central region or a certain eastern region, or no matter how cosmopolitan the school may be, the prevailing language there, or the prevailing culture, or in this case for any group there, has an effect on who you are. Because when you get out, once you get when those eyes you run away. When you run away, you go into town. You are meeting with them. Everything you are doing, they are there. So I think that for me, my point is, granted these things are valid, but we need to also take part of it, because I believe we are also. It's just our parents are sometimes because when you go back home, what conversation you have with your mother or your father? You went to SS. Oh, that me call and a boy hear me say, and a boy hear me say. Then your mother will retort, or you have a conversation about it. Then it is there. Then you go back second term. It's like 3 years, right? I don't. It was 3 years, right? Yeah. That's what 3 terms.
It's still 3
years of 3 terms, right? So that's what 18.
3. Yeah, that's no, that's 9.
9.
That's
9. No, not a year. So 9 times 9. Okay, so 3.
Yeah.
So 9. So you are spending 9 months you are eating with them. You are eating their food. They are cooking your food. You are drinking their water. Their teachers are even teaching you. So I think that sometimes we the people in the relationships, we have the biases, and that our parents or the family or the site is a larger reflection of that which we have refused over the years to deal with.
But can we really believe? This is where I agree with KB to a point. Can we really believe that anyone that has come into Christ has suddenly changed?
No.
Because KB made a point about, when people say, I thought that this person is a Christian, they'll hold a different view, they'll be welcoming. That's what people say, that I can't believe a Christian will say this about another Christian. And it's very prevalent in the church, where you are thinking that, this is an accommodating space where we have all come together, we are serving the same God, we have the same values. Then in the church, someone looks you in the face and the person is saying, hey, Mom, cough on a dear. Enya dear me baby remuda.
So, well, first, the church is a hospital. So let's not see the church as...
That's why we buy drips and bring the beds and everything.
The church is a hospital. We are all coming for cure. We are all coming for perfection. And it is Christ that actually embodies that perfection that we are looking to. Yeah. So that's the first thing I would like to say. I mean, we come to church with our various individualism, with our various community, with our various cultures, what we have been imbibed into us over the period of time, our upbringing, the community we stayed in, and then we come with all these differences, and then we come there so that God will work a work on us and in us and with us, so that we are able to attain that Christ-like perfection that we seek to. But you first ask a question, like you said, I don't want to digress. You ask why it is usually the others that people speak against. I think they travel a lot. They are interspersed, like they go everywhere. We have the kind that really stay within their community, but they go places to farm, to do business, to trade and all that. So they are sort of cast abroad. Let me put it that way. And so people get to interact with them, be with them. And so they get to see those, I don't mean to say they get to see those streets, but because they are almost everywhere, people are able to, interact with them, be with them, live with them, and then see some of the things that they do. And in a broader perspective, are able to identify with these little things. And so when we congregate, we seem to have seen a little bit of that elsewhere. We've seen a little bit of that here and there. So then when we are talking about these things, the people that have traveled and we have had encounters with seem to be our example. But then again, I think I agree with KB that when these things happen, let's delve into it and find out and ascertain whether it is true. Because unlike me, I think I'm good at fending off, I don't want to say negativity, but I'm good at I want to say that I am very, very open-minded.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
so you do any tribe?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Personally, yes, I would do any tribe.
Okay.
Except mine.
Oh.
No, and it's not a bad exception. No. You see,
wants to explore?
It is not a bad thing.
Okay.
My thing is, I would wish to have every tribe in my family. We are a large family.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So like a cocktail of tribes. Because that is why I said I'm very open-minded.
Yeah.
Because I want to experience every tribe. And me, I want to actually get opportunity to be able to learn different languages. So that's my reason.
Okay.
That is my reason. And that to have said that, when KB said for Pisca, but on some wedding.
Papa.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you were saying you heard that from the fancies and all that.
No, they said we don't take care of that. And that actually was the first time. It was the first time I was hearing that. I have never heard it before. And this man was so
convinced.
He was so convinced. And, I investigated. Because the lady I was with at the time, I thought, it was going to work. So I investigated and I realized that someone in their family married a fancy and that gentleman didn't take care. Yes.
Okay.
And so that is a registered perception that he has. And so there's not even 2 or 3 people. He has not even tested the hypothesis. It's just one experience and it becomes his fact that
and sometimes people say these things because they have also lived among the community of a group of people. Because like I said, I'm a Krobo, both parents.
Okay.
And I was born and bred in an Akan community in Achim. Let me be precise, because the Achims and the Ashantis are not the same. Their languages, there are differences. So there are some sort of differences there. So I was born and bred in an Achim community, and my basic school to JSS was there, but my secondary and training college is in my hometown, Somaya and Odumase. Okay, and I'm on a school platform, and so when sometimes incident and issue happen and people people from my group of, my tribe are behaving in a certain way, we talk about it. Usually I even bring it on board. I go like, my people are at it again. Okay. Yeah. Because
that means you seem to be saying a lot of negative things.
No, it is not negative.
Okay.
You see, that is why I said and then they go like, someone so calm, and I'm saying it is because I am part. Sometimes I always say that, like just as Pastor Newton, that when you are able to identify some of the things that your people are doing bad and you talk about it, it is good, because they will bash you, they will castigate you, but the thing is that you are one of them. And then in a way, sometimes they would tell you. I have a friend who goes like, I don't want to mention the tribes name, but he goes like,
Oh, right, okay.
So
I know them.
We know them.
Okay. You also know them.
Even if your bonne cry, so ye be because ye pesi ye begu ye hu. And I tell him it is not right, because in as much as the Bible says we should be each other's keeper, he says we should caution each other in love. So you can do it in secret by drawing the person's attention to it. But there are certain things the person will continually do it. That is why God watches us to go through tribulations when we have done wrong severally, and he has warned us, because in everything we do there are warnings. If we are doing any evil, there are clear signs, little warnings that we overlook. And so when we overlook it for some time, then God sits back, and then the big one happens, and then that is to learn from that. So be from them. When you see the negative and you talk about it, it is just so that you can address it as it is within us. It is me. I have noticed. Let's work on ourselves.
But within the learning curve, that's where the problem is. You see, when I'm talking about something from a particular tribe or something I've experienced, the next person who is standing by, or the bystander, the witness, or whoever, is actually learning that is how they are.
No.
So
that is why
I'll give you an example. The first room I rented in my life. Yes.
With your 300 CD salary.
Oh, that one there. I wasn't working then.
Okay.
I was doing something else. So
he wasn't papa.
Yeah, I was doing papa. It wasn't like regular work.
Yeah.
This house belonged to a guy. Okay. Now this man, anytime I come back home, he was sitting in front of my room.
Oh.
He was always sitting in front. The moment I get there, Charlie, I must give him something.
Oh, right.
Then he would go, okay? The landlord.
Oh, wow.
And unfortunately, he passed on. Now, when he passed on, I did some renovations in the room. It was a very long single room. So I did some renovation. I demarcated the place into 3. So a part served my living room, a part served my bedroom, and the last part I built a bathroom inside. Now everybody said they wanted the room from the family. The moment the man died, everyone wanted the room, and it went to court.
Hey.
This is no joke. It went to court. The court asked me to vacate.
You did it while the man was alive?
Yes, while the man was alive. And he said, they were going to add it to my rent.
Yeah.
So now this is what happens. They want to give the room to the firstborn. Unbeknownst to them, the man had 2 women.
Ouch.
And the next woman's firstborn also came into the picture and said that, see,
he's also the first.
It's also the first. And if it is going to the firstborn, it must come to, And no, this one was not a he.
A she.
It was a she.
Right.
So that's why the thing went to court. And they said, see, for them to arbitrate the case well, I need to leave.
Wow.
And I lost the money I used for all the I didn't get it back. Okay. So standing and experiencing all these things, when I'm narrating a story to a friend, that friend is now learning something from what I am saying. It may not be a tested experience, but you would say, "She, Madam for video, that has always been the perception of people, because I have met a lot of people who you can't seem to find. Was it your experience? No. Who said it?
Yeah.
Someone said it.
Sometimes they may not even trace the person that said it.
Wait, when did they happen? And they can't readily tell you. So my struggle always is, whenever we are telling the stories about our people, someone will say, oh, this particular tribe, they are very lazy. They don't want to build, they don't want to work. They always rest on a japadia that has been there for the past 60 years. No matter how you rent the place, all 20 of them will come and share that money. So be careful how you approach that family. When people say these things, now we are moving to what we say about our own people. Because, not to put my dad on the line, but my dad told me not to marry from my tribe. Yeah, he did.
And a fancy
okay,
boy.
Yes.
Well, he has his reason.
Yeah, he has his reason.
And
that's the argument now.
To him.
How is it solid?
To him.
KB, how is it solid?
To him.
That was your experience.
It should be solid to him.
How is it solid?
So it has to be tested.
Make me
how will I test
if his generation is happening in your generation, he should be able to give you case studies.
So
No, case study
one of the
doesn't mean
reasons
it's being
was
tested.
when you are in dying times, when you are in difficult
They'll
times, they
leave,
don't
yeah,
stay.
yeah.
Oh, so you see, I didn't even finish the story.
There was a butter on soup.
No,
Butter and soup.
So cool.
no, but they say that they don't stick around in the difficult
It's
times.
true.
It's part of the
my
butter.
uncle
It's part
So
of the
he's
butter
saying
on
it
soup.
is true.
My uncle has
Yes.
experienced it.
Because not is it I don't know how genetics work, but most tribes are from a certain genetic trait,
Yes.
which will spread. Some
They have
gene-
genetic markings. Yes.
so
Similar,
some
yeah.
genes are resilient, some are friendly,
Some
some,
are
are
dormant.
warm, some are dormant, some are nepotic, some are so it's like nepotic and also
Trust you to come back.
so at the end of the day, that dominant gene or trait will resonate
Shows up.
amongst.
Yeah.
So
So
secondly-
what should happen is
yes.
you should be punished for your negative traits. Otherwise, you won't learn from them.
How do you
Wow.
mean?
So being
How do you-
punished
okay.
is that you don't
Yes.
get
But
So-
it's marriage. Oh.
So let me explain what I mean.
Uh-huh.
If my tribe, if my tribe is X, but we are not on Twitter, okay,
Yeah.
and
Boss.
and we are always inside looking. We are always
Yeah,
thinking
can't
of
patch
only
up.
ourselves.
Yeah.
nepotic.
We are selfish.
course.
We are selfish.
Okay.
With time, once we interact with a second party tribe, they will know. And
Yeah.
if they and we are X,
Yeah.
Y, Z, P, Q, R realize it, we have to fix it.
Yeah.
If we don't fix it, it will come back to bite us. So what will happen is that then our daughters cannot intermarry.
Wow.
It is not witches. It is not that they can't cook. They are not respectful. It is the traits now with the genetic predisposition. We have not made it to evolve to current times or to open up.
So this is
Yes.
the differences of experience. Now, what I want to focus on, I'm glad you brought this thing up. The punishment bit is what we are experiencing today in our
Yes.
generation.
We are being
Our
punished.
parents
Because
refuse to fix it.
Precisely. So years ago, certain group of people
Yeah.
exhibited certain traits.
Exactly.
Yes.
And it built a perception in the midst of a group of people. And they are saying, see, for us, we don't want to deal with these people
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
So you don't now people are bearing the brunt of people that they don't even know.
Exactly.
Exactly. So this is the punishment we have now.
Yes.
How do we solve it? Because
We go ahead and marry them anyways.
No,
Well,
you see,
I
you
think
see,
we have to
so
fix it
so
first before
I
we
would-
can.
No, but
you
how
can't
about
give
we
what you
fix
don't
it? You
have.
can't fix it.
We have
fix
to
it.
unlearn.
But
You
it's
can't.
hang
There's a lot
on,
of unlearning we have
to
there
do. You can't.
How are we- how
I
are
want
we
to
going to
I want
fix
to
it?
say something because she asked, so how do we do it? You see,
Yeah.
sometimes these things, like I said, always bothers when people have lived in the indigenous people. I've had the opportunity to live at various places, and when she was talking, she mentioned when she was in school the types of where that look when we went to Hohoi recently. In Hohoi, we moved from one village just about a kilometer or two to the next village. Their kind of air is different from the one we left previously. We went to 5 places. We had about 3-4 different kinds of air that was being spoken in the same Hohoi town, but various villages. So usually people make these remarks when you live with the indigens, because if you some of the things that we castigate some tribes for, believe me, when you go, let's say I have lived in Accra my entire life, or I have been able to, so because I have lived in Accra my entire life, I have seen some of the traits of the gas, and I'm talking about it. It will shock you to know that when I moved to Kumasi, the same traits that I'm talking about, when you move to the very indigenous place that I have noticed, some of these character traits will also show over there. So we can work around it, okay? That is why I started out by saying I'm very open-minded. Sometimes I said my curiosity actually overrides my common sense more often than not, because I would want to.
That's interesting.
I want to find things out than shy away and go like, no,
Hey,
that is
man.
yes, that's how I
the
am.
guys that come around.
Oh,
That is-
I can speak to what she's saying. I
okay.
haven't dated much, but I've not dated. I've not repeated.
So you're also very curious.
No, I don't. It's not, mine is not curiosity. Mine is more of a person-to-person basis. You understand? I won't listen to what people are
say
saying
to make
once you treat me right. And what I think for me has worked over the years, well, that my family, I don't take you home until I'm sure.
But you've taken someone home.
me and you.
Once.
And
Oh.
you have not
Me too once.
you have not had any sort of objection or
No.
whatsoever.
And me to my family too.
No.
we are not, we are open-minded. No, it's my happiness that my parents want.
But that is why people are asking that. Why should a parent have a say in this your
But
life?
let me give you an example. Let
Okay.
me give you an example.
Okay.
In the times of old, I think an incident happened this week. I don't know whether you know Wendy. She's on Facebook. She's a nurse and a philanthropist.
Wendy Waterman.
Yes.
Yes.
So she made a post about a lady that has married a man, I think for 5 years, and in the 5 years, she's now discovered that she's the married side chick. The man actually has a wife. And has married her, and I think they have 2 or 3 children out of the marriage, and the woman is so devastated.
Wow.
She doesn't know what to do.
She
and
found out 5 years later
later
that she was the side chick.
married side chick.
Married
Yeah,
side chick.
okofie.
You mean second wife?
No.
Okay.
People like
No.
us, second wife.
Okay, second wife. And the I think the worst part of it was that her bride price, what I read was that her bride price, the man, that token money you put in an envelope, it was a check.
Bride price.
And when the parents went to cash the check,
Was a
they
dad's
found
check.
it was So the parents
A
knew
dad
that
check?
It
yes,
was a
so
dad's
the
check.
check never cleared for those 5 years. The parents also never called the girl until recently, where they opened up. So he went asking the husband whether he knew
But
the
that
check.
bride price is supposed to be for the ladies, not for family.
No, so
So
on
there
the
is the
share
one that's-
envelope,
there is
you,
one
you
that
put
you
it
give
in
to
an
the
envelope, so
family.
you
Yeah,
give
that
it to-
one, your mother, in-law,
Is it a
mother.
dowry or
The
I think it's a
dowry.
dowry.
Yes,
It's a dowry. It's a dowry.
It's a
Yeah,
dowry,
dowry
then
is
the
for
the
bride
dowry
price.
must come back to the
Yeah,
lady?
it's for the ladies.
Really?
Well, yeah.
Yes.
The families,
That's
dad's
tradition.
own
Oh,
is
thank you
different.
for letting me.
Yeah, that's
Let me sit up
But
right.
whatever it
It's
is,
different.
the one, it was a
Okay.
check,
Yeah.
and when they went,
She has-
it
she
didn't,
had to go and
it
cash
didn't,
it. It's not her,
it didn't
yeah.
clear. The
It depends on
parents,
the family you
and
come
the
from.
parents didn't tell her until after 5
they were
years
in on
later.
it.
Well, no, he did. So she went back to the
They didn't
husband.
want to embarrass him.
So wait, the lady went back to the husband. The recent when the parent told her to ask, and he said he knew.
Oh.
And that was when he also found out that in his second wife, not just a worried, the woman is married. You see, this is where I come back to our
The
parents.
man is married
The
or-
man is
okay.
married. Sorry, this is where I come back to
The
our
parents'
parents'
influence.
Honestly, because when I went on I was hurt. I was hurt in so many because I couldn't comprehend how a man
wife.
who is married and has a wife could come up with such a thing to want to go marry another woman for whatever reason. I still can't comprehend
So
how.
in this case, do they know the first wife?
So
Which-
it is that she never knew until after the 5 years episode.
What was the wife? What was the first wife?
I don't have the details
abroad
of that.
and she came
I don't
to
have the
Ghana. That one
details
is-
of
But how
that.
did the man
So-
have so
But
much time
this
to
is
spend
what
with her
the point
for
I
5
want to
years?
make.
Okay.
In the times of old, you know those times we say our parents married for their children, they will find
Yeah,
this beautiful one.
Gamega,
And this is
you are
what I
hard.
said.
You
I
do
think
investigation
we
for
should
her.
go back to our investigations.
Now, be
Our
penny.
children,
Wo be
you see,
penny.
that is it.
No,
You
some
see,
of that
yeah,
not
penny.
issue- It's
You
supposed
see,
to be on your blind
easy-
Yeah,
side.
penny,
easy-
brah.
They don't tell you. They are
Yeah.
not supposed to tell you. But you see,
You
these
people are
are
hammering KB's point home.
No, yeah.
The African system must be
no.
reinstalled.
It is very, very necessary. Our children now go where the days
I'm not saying
we
it.
stayed in the same community, we grow up and we marry
Yeah,
ourselves, so
yeah.
we know ourselves.
But now
But these
cross-cultural-
days,
Yes.
we travel to go and work. I know it will take time, probably resources to make investigations, but I think we should go beyond our children bringing people home and we being happy about their happiness and find out things.
How?
That's in the law, because happiness is good in marriage, but our parents know that marriage is a very long run. And there are things that embodies marriage. So we should go back to their investigative ways, because honestly, we come here with all the joy. It is on our blind side. That is what he said.
But you don't know.
I
No,
don't think-
even when
I
they
don't
bring
think-
the results to you, you reject it. You will
see,
reject it because you are in love.
Wait, you see, that is where we come back to the Christian, because there's one thing.
The faith bit.
Wait.
I'm trying not to touch
Wait,
it.
no.
I will
Because
touch it for you.
Wait.
When I
will touch it
tell
for
you
you.
what I
Relax.
went through
My
in
pastor-
I will touch
counseling,
it. I will
my
touch
pastor,
it for
there
you.
was no investigation.
My-
on it.
my-
I will touch it for
No,
you. don't
listen.
worry.
My one of my daddy, he has. There is one thing that he had always says. He says when you are going to marry and maybe one of the family or the parents is against
Opposes
it,
it. Pause.
pause.
Yeah.
And
Pause. Yeah,
pray.
you have to pause.
Pause, pray, and investigate.
Yes, you have
and
to.
he even goes for. He says until they agree. Don't.
Yeah.
No, but we are talking about circumstances where there was no obstacle. Okay.
Obvious obstacle.
Like, obvious obstacle.
Yes.
But there were people also who had their parents who were in on the lie.
Yeah.
So that is why I'm saying that we must divide the issue.
So
I have seen parents take someone and giving the person to another person when they knew that this person was not good for them, or secondly, the person was already married. But looking at the benefits that comes with the person.
So what happened to the pause and pray? Then what happened to the pause?
So you see, that's the struggle I have when it comes to faith. Not everyone hears from God.
No, it is not about the hearing. No, it's not like God's audible voice.
There are people who have prayed about their lives for the past 10 years,
and they still haven't heard anything.
So what happens to them? They should wait 10 years to take a decision. Also, they're looking into a family that has gradually been swept under the carpet.
It should be brought back.
Because today, the question is the person a believer?
Can't.
If the person is a believer, then
that is in a Christian setting.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
In the other setting, is that how rich is the person?
But we are from family. We are from I'm talking about the influences.
Okay, no, there are
we
two.
We are from family. So now,
there are two.
I come to church. I found someone. I present the person.
To the church or to the family?
To the church.
Okay, so I'm coming. So there are two things here. The church
Family
deals with their faith, and the family is more concerned with their financial well-being.
Because gradually,
financially, more. It's a big deal for them.
The authority we are speaking about lately is now faith diverted than family diverted.
True.
I tell you a story. In the 4th week or 5th week of my counseling, my dad gives me a call. I pick up on a Sunday night, and he's like, "Nah, then I'm still. I'm here counseling on my phone. Second one, they do. Still I what to want for. I then, he was amazed. Then he asked the very interesting question: why in bed there? How many weeks?" And I told him that
6
no,
months.
it was 13.
Oh, 13. Okay.
Yeah, I told him that it was 13 weeks.
So 3
He said, "Oh boy."
3 months.
I said I'm over. And it introduced me to the fact that these parents that we have, they have not experienced this side of the faith, and so they don't even know that people have to sit down, have a tete-a-tete
for 13 weeks,
dealing with different topics and all that.
Yeah.
Okay. So when the family influence comes in, have we really given the power to the family to have an influence? If we have, normally it's around just 3 areas. 1, the tribe. 2, the money.
Yeah.
And 3, maybe the sickness.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That is it. Apart from that, we delegate everything to church.
Yeah.
Osofo, do you agree with Lucy that we must go back?
Oh yes, we must go, because one thing is, I don't believe it has been thrown away. It's just maybe
we don't do it anymore.
We don't do it, or the irresponsibility of the parents of the people, because
of the family, extending beyond the parents, because now the family is a big. The uncles have roles to play.
It with my marriage, aside whatever faith, they were straight on the background. And I had a grandpa who nearly spoiled my chance because he had a certain record, and my wife's family feared that.
Wait, did you marry from your kind?
Yes.
Okay. Let's put you in context, because it makes it easier that way.
Yeah, we are Guans. We are from Oti region. So.
You are the
original Ghanaians.
Saturday fancy. That's what to call.
I think that's the celebrated festival in the Oti region. One of them.
Yes.
It depends.
Okay. All right.
So they investigated. They were okay with whatever they found, but only the record of that grandpa.
Okay.
Not a popular power.
Yeah. For my background, we are fetish. That grandpa was the chief fetish.
Oh wow.
And I was next in line for the breakthrough.
Go you.
I'll say breakthrough.
So, but now they just opposing, realizing he's a pastor.
Okay.
So the faith of God can overrule that.
Yeah.
Of course.
So that is on your side.
Yes, on my side. And then they started lowering the guard. Although the financial side came up, because you are marrying a pastor.
Okay. Who doesn't have a regular stream of income?
KB, yo.
The problem, you were not a founder.
KB,
If you were a founder with sporting waves, and white jacket, and white shoes,
wow.
and reading for iPad, why not?
So that came up, and then we deflated that flame that came up.
Okay.
But I also thank God for my wife because she also stood strong.
So you
Because at
see,
the point she made the family understand that it's my decision I'm making.
you see,
If I perish, I perish.
how
So leave me to go.
yeah.
And just Sunday, she was thanking me that she hasn't regretted that decision.
That's right.
This is good.
Because of the
Please, I tap.
So
Really?
because of that
Seriously?
experience,
You want to stoke the
so
honest?
because of what happened with my wife and I could now see that the family are now relaxing on certain things they used to be entrenched on.
Oh, for
So
other
it-
people.
for
Okay,
other people in the
nice.
family,
Nice.
and we realized
So that's
that
how we break
the,
it.
the church also played a
Become
role
the
when
first.
that things came up
Okay.
because their objections were things that with faith and hope we can overrule.
Yeah.
At least
It
we're
wasn't
open-minded.
more of he's from here, we don't know them, blah blah blah. Although we were from the same region,
That makes
but
it easy
our
for you.
There are
were
differences,
there.
yeah.
Yeah. yeah.
But at least we speak the same language.
And
So
it made
the
it easier
communication-
for the research to go on. See, that is
Uh-huh.
one of the advantages. If you go outside of your circles, the research then becomes very
But
difficult.
it's so be that.
It, no,
you
it
even
becomes
get
yes,
candid
it becomes
information,
very
yeah.
very difficult. That's one thing that I have realized. So I'm Guan, and I go all the way to say I have dated somebody from was it Agati? I think, you know,
Okay,
and
Samini.
yeah. So if it had gone on as I thought it would, and we got to that point, imagine the stress that.
Oh, I.
But you know,
I
people will
encountered-
people travel to places people are from
to go
to
and
stay there for a while just to find out what
This
they
is
want.
what it did.
Oh no! You know, my
I
people
thought that
told
is
me.
what- I
My
thought that
people
is what
told me
Bible
if I'm
teaches.
going to the north, I'll go alone.
So you
Because
see,
they
they
mentioned that
will
they've
go.
not
But
gone there
Oti
their whole
region
life.
is already
But-
up there.
Wait, how far inside are you?
Me, I'm at towards the border that connects us to Yendi.
Okay, then you are very far.
So we are fine.
So
And
Oh,
also
maybe about-
Upper East there.
No, so
Kemi.
try the assembly. I can see.
The family influence, the giving authority to family. Some people are saying that it is not a necessity. It is actually a border. Now that we are coming to our main.
Can I steal
question-
your thunder?
I'm coming in.
please
I'm
do.
coming
Okay,
in.
thank you.
It's 2 minutes after 3. If you're watching and you want to contribute, it's 020-343-8710. That's the WhatsApp line. 020-343-8710. Let's hear your thoughts on the family influence on the relationship. Is it a necessity or it is a border? Share your thoughts on the matter. I'm on KB now. The people are saying that no, here it is a necessity. The family must have a say. They must say
Okay.
something. They must. Oh, okay, you are taking.
Yeah, KB says I
Say
should.
it's still in-
So you see, let us say that the thing is, it's not the family must have a say. The family already has the say by virtue of the fact that we were born through that family. You see, marriage is not between two individuals. We say it's between two families, and there is a nuclear family. There is the extended family. So this is like a natural right. They are born with it. Like I don't like. It's not like we are giving it to. They have it already. The challenge now is the extent to which they can
go,
apply
yeah.
and how the application is done. That is what we need to look at now. It's not. They already have it. Okwa form. Why is it that you go and meet somebody in maybe say New York? Two of you go and meet in New York or maybe say in Chicago or something, and then you want to get married. You still have to find your route for the dowry and all those things to be paid. Why?
And nowadays people are doing Zoom weddings.
No, but the
It
dowry
is not
will
with.
be
It is not without. You see, it is not without the. It is recourse to the family. You see, no matter how you choose to, whether the ordinance one, you elope, whatever it is. Last, the family will still come
No,
in.
wait. Let's hold your horse. Even when you are the courts, they
Yeah.
ask
Yes.
you the family that gave the lady out.
Even in church,
They
they
ask.
do it.
So
And
it's
they ask, has he done everything?
yes, they ask
Yes.
at the courts.
No,
they
I
ask.
only asked for the investigation bit because if I met you in New York and I witnessed, I think one of my cousins got married recently and they were joining us from the US and they were on a Zoom and they were in a room together like the same house.
Yeah, but you were there.
I didn't go. My
No, I
guess
mean
is
you.
was
I
telling
mean
you.
you were present.
No, I mean
Not you, the
On
human.
Zoom.
Your family was present.
Yes, the family was present.
Exactly.
Together, but
That's it.
how do you actually do a better background on a relationship like this?
That's why some
How do you
where
do
I
a
come
better
from,
background
what was
research?
advised was if you guys realize you want to go up, like Unya and now the Nabefi. So then the family starts the background
from
information
that
before
day.
you graduate to we want to
Oh,
marry.
okay.
But then
That's
Lucy
right.
also mentioned that the dynamics of living has changed. It's not like before where you know that, oh, we are all in the same house. Now, there are people who have left home for the past 15 years.
And they haven't been
And
back.
they surface with, "I
And
want
the
to
only thing
marry."
that probably
Yeah.
is taking them back to the extended family.
It's
is
true.
that-
It's true.
is-
It's true. It's true.
Okay,
It's
so
true.
now you arrive and the Busape is saying,
So Abba, it's true, and they'll put all their last on it for you.
now they want to grill you
Yeah,
proper.
they do, and they charge you
Okay,
for it too.
So I'm coming to the point
Yeah.
you raised about
Yeah.
when the person is too far.
Yeah.
It's difficult for you.
It
to
is.
do
It's
the
very difficult.
investigation.
It's very
But
difficult.
is it really?
It is.
But I always say that where there is a will, there is a way.
Lucy,
You see,
please,
no. That see, we have actually ridden on that. We've been riding on it is too far. It cannot be done. And we have seen a lot of ills. You know, people go back to say, "Oh, our parents' marriage was long lasting and all that," because some of these things were done.
If you warrior is
See, it
different.
has got nothing to do with the wedding people are adding to the
No,
Ifiedi,
if,
you know,
no, if you
honestly.
warrior doesn't mean the ceremony. It is how the woman is. So at least my parents' house here. So if this is literally if this is my father's house, this is my mother's house. It's a walk. If you warrior.
Okay, walk away.
It's a walk.
Okay. But what I want to say is that there is always a way to things. Okay, we may think we can't probably sit in an aeroplane and get there, or sit in a car and go to that far
Of course,
distance,
sit in a ferry.
or go and be like a stranger to ascertain how the family behaves and how they do their things. But
I want to understand. Is it different nationalities or the same nationality?
Same nationality.
I mean, like
Same
when,
nationalities. What,
Ghana.
no, he's
what
talking
is it
about the fact that someone will say, if the person is from the north, we are not.
I'm not
going.
going
for the
there.
aeroplane
There are a lot of
Big
people
Yeah,
who have said that.
Yeah, but
Who go?
like the north is not that far.
But
About
there's
to you.
some people will say they wouldn't go because
You know there are
Some even conclude
some objections are do a cheap
Because we were too lazy to invent the airplane early enough.
so now it's here.
no, for some people,
Yes.
I think it is cost implication.
No.
For
It's
some
a
people,
cost.
I didn't say
Let me
everyone.
explain what I mean. Because in our terrain, economically flying by air is super expensive. That is why they've cowed these conversations.
But going by road is also expensive.
But you can still
And
go.
by
No,
ferry.
I'm saying that if airline cost or airlines like
Ferry.
in
Ah,
our-
Yeji.
by the grace
Yeah.
of God in their west, flight from Seattle to
It's
Chicago
very
is
cheap.
not. So
But they don't do
But
these
they are
things.
not big on these things
I'm
either.
coming. So I'm saying that like if we had built an economy where flights was like Accra to Kumasi
Ghana.
and back, it wouldn't be a big deal. So you see, I've mentioned before that relationship with Africa, unfortunately,
It's on
economics
money,
plays
Makes it so
too
difficult.
much because money is too
Central.
neutral or
Central.
inanimate to be part of the conversation. If flying to Tamale is a reasonable amount, nobody will come and tell you that, hey, probably the
But
idea.
KB, are you willing to spend, say, maybe 6 months to 1 year living in a community just to investigate if the
And no,
person
no.
is right for? No, I'm only an example is if the person is willing, it's right for your child or something.
Okay, so that
And no,
template
I
of
think even now to the challenge is even locating people's houses.
Yes,
No,
and
but
homes,
you
and
see-
family
When you
homes.
direct to
It
family
is
homes.
easy.
It's simple to locate.
No, but you see, I don't want. People have done it,
And with
even
my-
in our modern times. We're just where do you say you stay? Oh, okay, I'm from this town.
Yeah.
So where do you say your houses?
Exactly.
And you mention, and
It's
people will
not that
go.
big deal.
It has
Like, if you
happened.
want
That
to
is what I'm
go
saying.
back,
That
you
if
see,
they
some
want to,
Kevin,
they want
Kevin,
to.
you are an MC as well as I am. Don't you hear at the engagement?
no, you mean
That-
the traditional ceremony?
The traditional
Correction.
ceremony.
No,
The
it is our
traditional ceremony.
marriage.
Sorry. The traditional ceremony. Don't we hear that the families are now introducing themselves to the point where they are now mentioning the
Aunties.
houses
Yeah.
and is it?
Is it not for?
clan or-
Is it not for
Yeah,
ceremony?
yeah.
It's not a ceremonial
Oh
thing.
no, some
no,
don't.
some are even hearing it for the first time.
First time.
As in,
Oh wow!
But you see, the
Say-
problem is that introduction should have happened during the knocking.
Precisely.
But the
But not-
knocking now we've made it.
If we have made
But-
it
A simple
but the other thing
by the
too
way,
is
she
it's
stole
not.
my thunder.
I did.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
So
it's
I'm
not
giving you-
everybody
Yeah.
who gets invited for the knocking.
Uh-huh.
The knocking has become very private,
Yeah.
small ceremony.
So what is actually happening?
Giving
What
you back
my
your time.
observation is
Yeah.
that the things that are native to us, when I say globalization, it makes it look like they're white man. Let me be blunt. You can choose to make it the international community. I mean, they're white man or Eurocentrism. Eurocentrism is clashing with our nativism.
The what centrism again?
Eurocentrism.
Please, I don't. Europe.
Yes.
Eurocentrism. Like
right. I didn't get it. Sorry, I didn't get it.
Because Americans are Europeans, and these are like the current influence globally. So the Arabs, some Africans have learned to distinct theirs with the Arabs because Islam is a bit rigid and defined. We don't really struggle. It's like, if you are going to Isifu, you are going. If
Come
you are going to Abubakar, but then with you are in New York, it's almost like, because the church is also in Africa. What I've observed is economics come back to it again. If always remember, it's always the rich uncles who seem to like dictate ceremonies, usually even with a funeral. If you've not realized them, if you've not sat in a funeral planning is the one who is abroad,
who has the money,
50,000 miles. He's in abroad, or he will be joining the funeral committee via Zoom
sometimes,
but he would rather be dictating. Then your agent who is here now they don't respect him because he, at the end of the day, he can't put his money where his mouth is. So where she's saying they don't investigate the Kokoko, usually it's because of the nuclear habitat we have embraced as modern day Africans. So you have and usually for some interesting reason, Africans have very nosy aunties. I'm speaking for my people.
Those ones.
So people try their best to avoid those nosy aunties
until
so in their quest to also create a privacy so that they can nurture the relationship in a healthy environment and avoid the negative energy. Deep down, you realize sometimes, interestingly or unfortunately, depending on how the news comes to you, the girl finds herself pregnant before the ceremony. So that one you have to accelerate it.
Quick.
So that's why you realize
the one they pay the kwasibo, right?
So now you have to accelerate. So then your nosy auntie that has been timing to do your matter is like, you have brought to that's when
do your matter.
So that one you realize that you get to realize it in a too short a time. But in the best case scenario, it's also trap. Even they should even see on Facebook. You guys almost mentioned a fast food joint. You should have some chop bar joints because nowadays, like as if you don't take a girl to a fast food joint, you're going to accumulate diabetes.
They are even saying that first date to KFC is a red flag. Now that's the conversation online.
It's somebody's brand, so like fast food joints. I even don't take them to fast food. They don't do you say let's go and young question coins. Charlie boy, I'll be quiet. Are you sure that you crossing? The impression is that because so by the time it has to travel its natural course, somewhere there will be a picture on Facebook, something. Then someone will come and like all I'm trying to say, when it's traveling its natural course, the roots of the relation will be nurtured enough that when negative energy comes to hold. But we are in a nuclear environment where you are even trying to hide it from negative anti-energy.
Is it not the living conditions that have contributed greatly to
not necessarily living?
It's the experience.
Yes, you have seen place.
No, I think the right word is not even living. I think it is the way we settle now. Not the living
I'm
conditions.
talking about privacy. You want to nurture, for example, sometimes
in the ideal environment, just not to catch you, in the ideal environment, it is always you are at home in the family setting and someone approaches. So we see the man coming in, walking out, coming in, walking out.
Compound house.
Not a compound house.
Me and her, our experience, our MO by bringing you home only when we are super sure. Fits into what he's saying. When I meet with you now, I won't take you home till I have convinced myself.
You have to check the sickle cell.
Now you are making my point clear.
Until you check even the sickle cell state.
If you were with your parents,
I am still with my parents.
If you are with your
parents. With my
parents. The Indians do that.
But even if those days I wasn't. Look, you are not going anywhere
until you are cocksure. Because you see, what you want to avoid is premature exposure, where you are certain revelation you don't know, even like the sickle cell status. Then it comes up. Then now they'll begin to even doubt your choice by that blunder. So now they will not even trust your independent choice again. So most partners who want to cross all the boxes before they bring it to the grand jury.
I do that.
Yes, and there's nothing wrong with it. That's what I'm saying. In your quest to check the boxes, your grand jury is probably in Somania. You guys are in Tabora, Tesano somewhere, and then some biological function and warfare, and then something somewhere. Then there's someone is taking seat. That is where you realize that you need to accelerate.
Oh my God!
Then it brings all its complications. So I'm saying that some people want to nurture it before they bring it to the, and some people too. They don't have. I don't want to. It's like I'm sounding sexist, but those who know the negative energy aunties, they know them. Sometimes they cry. Their daughter are not even married, but they will scrutinize your.
You know, sometimes in their negativity brings positivity. You know, we are so quick to look at the basa. I know the basa is excessive.
Yes.
But sometimes the way they behave.
Females will tell me their aunties are honestly knows. Even when we have accepted the cocoa and during the ceremony, they are the ones who are always the one making it.
Do you know why? Because some of cocoa and saffron, they have information. No, they have information.
Good.
Because sometimes there is there are some families that whose names are attached to certain sicknesses, which we don't know about. Maybe after a certain generation, it sort of felt like it had broken off. But the tendency, like you said, the genetic markers are there, and there are recessive genes that can come up at some point. Yes. So for me, those people, because they have information, has to see saying they're actually good.
But information can actually be an expression or data, depending on how you present.
Oh, but see, regardless of how they present, I think they are good. They are good for discourse.
Yes, but then when you tell me, for example, let's even use faith, because Pastor Newton was even telling us that through faith and belief, his health. Even with faith, those negative. I'm talking about the negative ones. And a deeper life for crowd. But you are saying he should be a person of faith. Now he's a faith. Now they are even going to scrutinize the type of
denomination.
We haven't even gone there.
Yes,
we have
settled on tribalism.
But there's another angle.
The economic bit is there.
Yes,
the denomination is
itself
also
is there. Whether it's a gradual movement
or
of the person.
I always believe. I mean, see. I know that in wanting to be positive, it is okay. It is highly difficult, especially the kind of people you are mentioning, and they see bad in everything.
Unfortunately,
but
those are the
ones I'm talking about, they don't see any good. Even what is good, they're able to twist it to make it look bad. But let's not forget that their ways also should help us to make us to think and analyze things. You know. When we don't want to deal with things, we are good to rubbish it and put a name to it and not want to look further beyond the name that we have given to it. So I always believe that even in their negativity, there might be a sense that will drop, so that even when you are attentive or sensitive enough, you pick a thing or two to watch and observe, analyze and make a decision, even in their negativity. Because like you said, we know them. They are utterly negative. Like they are doomsday people. They're just doomsayers. Nothing. What?
Anyway, 0203438710. Send your messages on WhatsApp 020-343-8710. A friend of mine is sending me a message, and she's saying that I shouldn't put her name out there.
Please don't.
So I'm just going to say what she said. She said, see, it is a necessity. But also, the family has also found a way of turning it into a border based on how they handle it. I think you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't happen at the knocking. The introduction doesn't happen at the knocking. In fact, at my ceremony, my uncles and aunties realized that they knew my husband's family from way back. And it made the ceremony even more beautiful.
Nicer.
Okay, they were there.
Okay, and it was the same for my sister as well. So I'm saying that there are little things that we are beginning to lose when it comes to checking. So the influence we are talking about that we are giving the parents, it's now coming from
that the parents have.
That the parents have. Sorry,
they have it too.
That the parents have. Sorry, let me.
No, you can't give them things.
The parents have. Now we are looking at tribe. We are looking at economic conditions, and now even profession is becoming a thing now. The profession is becoming a thing now.
So that has also been an old thing, except these days, we know profession, there are some professions that are high earners, so yes. But in the old times, when you say you are seeking the hand of a woman in marriage, your baby saw,
because women were not that professionally engaged.
But I think now families of today have turned this whole thing upside down. Oh no, let's be honest. For most families, the women are their cash cows.
Yeah,
they are the destiny changers of the family.
Yeah.
So every family carries all their lass and put it on the girl.
Today, I didn't want to enter the room, but
Please enter.
It is the charismatic pastors they are preaching. I see a burger. I see keys, Range Rover keys. Now, guess what is going to happen? As soon as the gentleman come, hey, your prophet will say, or this year be
no,
so when you come,
I beg to differ.
They will not allow you to drag God's destiny.
No, I beg to differ. I have lived. I am Guan. I schooled in the Volta region. I lived in La for almost 15 years, if not more. So I'm not Ga, but if I speak Ga, you will think I am Ga.
And so now you speak Ewe.
I speak Ewe. I speak Ga. I speak Guan.
You speak Guan.
Yeah.
You don't speak Fanti.
I'm now learning.
Okay. I should find you a Fanti. I should find you a Fanti.
Oh no, we're good on
but
that.
She doesn't need a fancy guy.
Please,
I work with
app called
Fantis.
Duolingo. Don't go and do broken hearts before you can learn
Fancy
it.
or Duolingo?
Kebi, before this your issue came, I'm sorry.
Which issue per se?
The one that you're saying that is it's not a charismatic, so it has been there from before the charismatic came in.
Me when I was young, I was not seeing the Orthodox.
I am
prophesying khaki.
Calm down.
No,
No. I'm saying that
families.
What I am saying, it is not the pastors who have introduced
exacerbated by the
no.
current trend of sermons and the posturing.
Actually, no. Where I
okay, you can disagree.
I am disagreeing.
Okay, cool.
And I schooled in a Ga community where I had guns, like my school everywhere. And one thing I realized was that then sometimes what the mothers see. You know, when a child osiswa, the advice that you hear, what they tell their child. Now we couldn't let go now call ya I'll try call ya now to wait. If you this family is in your hand, so if you don't go and look for a better man, then we are nowhere, you know. And you hear I used to hear it.
Wait, I used to say something to this. I also say something to this.
This is my very subjective, myopic opinion. And I used to hear this all the time. So there was a thing around where I lived. If you are maybe say 16, 18, and you haven't started maybe say association with the opposite, then there was something wrong with you. Because for them it is the little girl who go out there, at least where I lived,
to bring in the fortunes of the family.
have to go. Yes, so they have to go. So there is something that is always very, very interesting. And what KB spoke about, then the coitus happens and the girl is pregnant. And throughout the pregnancy, you will see you know who the father is, or you won't see him at all. But then there is this concept of Kojimo that they do, guy. At that point, it's not even funny. So the fortunes of those families, at least one that I saw, were tied to the girls. So the girls were required
to go out there.
Yes, and they were told. Some were told point blank. And this was something that it happened. You hear it. So by the time we GSS, then they've dropped off. Yeah. Majority have dropped off.
The one
once you are going for prep,
so that is why I said they're showing up.
Yes,
because you mentioned
where I have been blessed to wherever I've stayed. I have been with them.
Exactly.
I have been with them, so I experienced them.
So with that the case study one, with that case with the lady, she was a Ghana lady, and after high school, I was asking her, why won't she continue? She was there was a family meeting, and the aunties were like in their tribe or whatever.
Their family.
There is a season where the goddess of fertility kind of gives opportunity for fertilization or whatever. If that way passes, you should struggle with a dry gum to have. Anyway, to have not holy child, holy child with a dry gum, whatever. So only the dry gum.
No, but he's so right. No, he's so right. What about that?
And then so we're not seeing her in church. Like she was somebody you could tell she was brilliant. She can do more if she can get post SHS whatever. We didn't see her. The time I realized they were inviting me for a Kujemo. And then I ask that, oh, but Abigail, I want to say, she's bridal, right? Oh, Darby, you better for Bomoje too. Like, at least she gave birth to him and not a goat. So, you
what's the big deal?
People, you this church, what is your problem?
Yeah.
At least she has not brought us shame or whatever. Yeah. So, you realize that if that thing falls in any 17-year-old, that there's a season where
you are fertile,
or there's a goddess who, after a certain time, you not best, and you know, in Africa, birthing is a very big deal. Naturally, no matter the science, no matter the scholarship you present, that one will override.
And that's a family influence right there.
Yes.
Okay, the conversation is getting interesting. We'll be opening the phone lines, but this is just a bit of the whole cake that we are looking to. Yeah. We are looking to eat from, because there are other factors that we need to take a look at. Because you see, lately we are having, like Apostle Francis will say, a lot of ladies who are doing so well. Someone wanted me on a podcast, and she mentioned something, and she was saying that, what do I think about ladies making a first move? And some of these social constructs that people have, I personally don't buy into them at any point in time. I really don't buy into them, primarily because there are changing dynamics of living, and if you fail to change with the dynamics, you will find yourself very much absolute.
But there are some dynamics you have to be careful.
Precisely.
Healthy conservatism is important. It's
healthy.
Yeah.
But here
talking
we are.
About a lady making the first move.
Making a move does not mean you are proposing. Making a move does not equate proposal. It could mean that you are opening up initiating something.
Then it could also mean he's a beta male. You have to be careful.
Why are you putting it in?
No,
why are you putting them in boxes right now?
Because you see,
when putting them in boxes, I beg.
Because
please.
Humans belong to boxes. Species have
so the things that parents are looking out for.
What
is something that we can add to our communication today? Pastor Newton. Oh,
my bad. Just unleashing that aspect of me.
Anyway,
on her.
Please send in your comments on WhatsApp.
On air.
I'm putting my hands in the hair. What's up?
And it's air.
Kevin, allow me to
put it on air.
Sanusi, you are joining the bandwagon. Please, I beg you. The show is not against any particular tribe. If I get a call afterwards, I will do a conference call.
Have I mentioned somebody's guy?
Send in your comments on WhatsApp. 02034387110. 02034387110.
Because he knows what we are talking about.
8710. I know what you're talking about, but I won't say so. How do we communicate to the parents? How do they handle issues like this? Because you find people who are at the edge of a parent's disapproval, be it the gentleman or the lady's job, the lady's tribe, the economic conditions surrounding the family. I've seen a story where this gentleman he's doing well as in he's now coming up, and he met this lady. They built a beautiful relationship. The father hears it, and the father says, after spending all this money on you for you to read your masters, or this is the best you could get, it won't work. Now, how do we handle issues like this? Because from your quarters, I'm bringing it to you because from your quarters, you are the people that people run to.
Yeah.
Yes, you are the people that
and you do the counseling as well.
You are the go-to people
in Africa.
Yes, you are the go-to people because if it were in other jurisdictions, they would have
clinical psychologists.
They'll go to the courthouse. By the time you see, they are done.
How should people handle these things? Because now we've discussed some of the issues. We'll go into denomination, God willing, next week. Because there was a particular denomination. My father said, "Hey, you better don't go there." How should people handle these things? And for people who are dealing with hurt from their parents regarding a suitor that they brought home, how should they go about it?
So the parents first of all have to heal from whatever they think is a pain they have.
They can't.
So no, if they can't, I also believe that allow the children to also exploit their life. Because we had the same issue where my cousin, I think I mentioned it last time, that my cousin wanted to marry a fancy lady, and the girl's father is a chief though, but said he will not allow him marry an Ewe. and all the narration was some past experiences.
Please give me anything. Once he's good, I'll marry Joe.
So, but the family to have experienced the person. And you see, one thing I loved about the uncles of the girl was they asked about the guy from her and asked if she's convinced the guy.
That's what she wants. Okay.
But the dad insisted no. But they had the marriage ceremony without the dad.
He didn't come.
Yeah, he didn't come today.
So who stood in the stead?
So the elder brother of the father.
So no, it's very normal. Where I come from, at least, your father, you have your biological father, and you have a father that is that you are giving a father figure who will stand ceremonially in all these things.
Father figure, but
we must tread cautiously on that front because
some uncles be so. They didn't see the sense in the father's argument.
Oh yeah, but sometimes for some sorry to but for some ethnic groups it's a normal practice. So because the thing is, what if your father dies today? Then what happens?
So that is incidental. But we are talking about the fact that
there's always that person who is there who will step in. No, that person who will step in,
and he's not approving.
So
of
that person will come. So once you are born at your naming ceremony, whatever it is, there is always somebody. Sometimes you know, sometimes you don't know, but there's always that one person. There is that backup plan.
A designated
yes, there is. Yes, there is. No, he's right. There is.
Yeah.
And where I come from, it's a big deal. So, so it is always there. So if it's where your father does something you don't like it, that is the person that you first go to speak to your father. Yeah. That's the channel. So if,
So you the person going through this particular
it's right. You are on point.
Situation.
Yes.
You go to the person.
Yes.
To speak to your father.
Yes. That the family knows that he is there. He's your designated survivor. For the purpose of this conversation.
I see.
Yeah.
So please.
So with that, what happened? They've spoken to the father of this lady, and the father was still.
And he never said why.
Was the guy rich?
He never said why.
Hey, what do you? Also, money talks. BS works.
Oh yeah, BS.
No, and the father never said. He never said. He never said it.
I believe he born it more than
wow.
He's old, so
a problem.
They prove everything that
I did from the same family.
You see, most of us rush into this hasty generalization because it's one.
But you're not even aware, are you not?
Yes, but say those times we hadn't divided the region.
But so, me I divided regions.
Voter, I don't want to go there. Right. So what we did was we employed people to talk to them, and he didn't listen. He said the daughter can go ahead and marry, but you should know that he will not be there. He will not have. She will not get what we call father's blessing, whatever.
He will not
so the uncle stood in, came in, did everything. They have 2 children now. The father has never come. And I told my brother something that he's a cousin, but we don't have cousin in tree, so his brother.
Yeah.
So I told him that how you treat this girl can change that father's mentality. I was just there recently.
Even after 2 kids?
Yes.
Wow.
So I was told that Nyasika, treat the girl well and let your testimony from the girl be positive about you.
And that's
I was there recently and the guy told me that the father has invited them to come to Cape Coast.
Okay.
And she said, my daughter through the mom has been telling me that I believe we are different. This
in school we call them refined Ewes.
So
who are not even Ewes to begin with?
First of all, start that.
If we know,
I say in school that means that these are myopic young guys with a lot of testosterone running around, not very mature.
So what I will advise is sometimes if the parents are not understanding, get people who will understand your position and then convince them.
But guys, let me come in here with what I just refined. Why are we not imploring our tribe people to perform and do the right thing? If Kweu people are just, why are we not telling them to what about if Ewes are all romantic, if Fantis are overly lazy and guns are this
out there?
Yeah, but the perception is fed off from some form of whimsical or some form of information.
And these are biases from experiences from one time encounter, and we cannot.
So are we going to say here that the perception we have about certain tribes, they are not true, they are just opinions? Is that what we are saying?
For me, what I've heard someone tell me is an experience. Now I have personally my 3 best friends are Ewes. But everyone around me is telling me that they are not good, and I'm not seeing it.
Exactly.
But
so how do I?
3%.
I'm testing
3 out of maybe 300,000.
That
No,
person
it's enough.
So I'm saying
It's
that
a start.
Percentage.
And I'm saying that
It's a start. KB, it starts from
that
somewhere.
person-
Oh, the percentage is too
that
neglected.
person-
Calm
I'm
down.
sorry.
No, it's not.
Kevin,
Calm
that
down.
person who is also telling me I've encountered just
Or
one.
one person, so it will be 1%.
So how do I use his opinion
Against 3 people.
to rule my life?
Okay, so you have to ask him where is he getting that information
I,
from?
so
You see, that's what
I don't need, no. You see, no. Here's the
Okay.
thing. I don't need to know where you are getting. For me, the facts are speaking for themselves.
People are eliminating
If I've dated maybe say 3 others, and they are not as wicked as somebody is telling me, just I didn't agree enough, and then I go and then I'm coming. I go and date a Fanti who is maybe say like as they say Fanti say. No, but it is me. But it is my experience. That is me.
and her crowd.
There
Yes.
is no way we will
Yes.
get there.
We will not get there. I don't
How
know those
would you
people.
use the sample size, considering the fact that in your whole life you have dated only 2 evers?
Can you imagine?
So you cannot also, based on just the 2, to conclude that
the
every
entirety of
is
them
bad.
are bad.
Fine. So
I
the
have
one
seen people-
countering my 2 people,
Uh-huh.
he is probably 82.
Yeah.
He and his generation have seen certain traits of this group.
How many?
And they are
Is it-
telling
is
you
it also
now.
2
It's
people
up to
or
you
you
to
saw an
prove him
entire
wrong.
group?
That's what I'm saying. Instead of just thinking that your uncle is just being tribalistic,
Yeah.
prove him wrong.
And
Maybe
I'm-
those 3 friends
I'm
you
giving
have,
you the
they are
example.
probably born again. They are well brought up, and they are more embracing. So do you know what's actually
But
going to
what's the
happen?
baseline, KB?
So the
Are
baseline
they
is
not
that-
from the tribe?
So the baseline is that they were probably not in the head.
No.
Okay.
But usually when you are not in the head,
No.
The
usually
analysis,
I
the
was
when you are
born
not in
in
the
the
head,
The analysis
they don't
for-
rob you much.
No, the
Usually.
hypothesis is that you can enter a restaurant and you be
Or a
treated
chop
bad.
bar.
A chop bar.
Yes.
And you be treated
Because
badly.
chop are healthier usually.
It could be that on that day, maybe the waitress was having a bad day.
True.
Okay, I went in there, had a perfect service, an excellent customer service. Now the 2 of us will discuss this same chop bar. You are saying something different. I'm saying something
And I'll
different.
never see what you're
When they
talking
share the
about.
How is it
experience, they
that-
don't
Okay,
tell us
so
what
that's
happened.
why science will
No,
come
but
in.
even if they tell me
That's why
that is
science-
your
no,
experience, keep it.
See, theories will about hypothesis where science coming. So you have don't mind your wife choba or farmer nyame choba. We can send mystery shoppers across different
Why would I
seasons.
want to do that to myself?
Maybe we are established when it comes.
Even
you see,
managers,
that is the
yes.
problem I
Yeah.
seem to have with Africans. When we have to establish something, it is difficult.
Yeah.
It's studious.
Yeah.
Now, guess what? Probably the day I went, the girl was in her period, and some
On her
females
period.
on my bad. Some ladies, when they are on their period, it affects their mood and affects their work ethic. So we have to go on different. Some people cry. Maybe it was during rainy season. The Sasa Braba. So she's very sluggish. So I'm saying that to establish.
Most people and girls are not happy with you right now.
Fetri Keke is there. So I'm saying that to establish something, give it all the variables.
Yeah.
Then we can conclude. The Kwewu thing I'm saying, I have realized it. Over different-
Personally.
Yes,
How?
over
How?
okay.
Personally.
The current
How?
generation.
It matters how.
The current generation,
Yeah.
the person's dad and the person's granddad. So when I asked, they told me that when there was this there was a beefing thing and they went up to the mountains. And the mountains, there was a lot of scarcity because when you're up there, you can't have access to river and the rest. So even when you have like one momone or one kobe or whatever, there's salt within.
Owalete.
When you use it to owalete, cook a show me, Bella, we get so I caught out of job. It would more. Then your friend, your Alabaya will remove it from her soup and put it in the consumer soup, and then a turn like that.
So frugality at its highest.
Yes, at its highest. So what happens is that you form an ecosystem, and human beings, when you are growing up, these things they are what psychosocial. When you see something being repeated by older models or people who you are like hero, whatever, you imbibe it.
Okay.
That's why when you are in a place where there's a lot of poor sanity,
Yeah, that's why
some
I
ways
said.
are you later.
Yeah.
Because when they just then they just do it.
Oh,
It's
God.
normal. Forgive
But
those
you
who
see,
are there. So
but then again-
let me conclude.
Yeah.
So now let's have a scientific research on why this X tribe is behaving this way, and then what interventions can we make? Maybe it is a poor community. It makes them not to give. Maybe they have a strong sense of history. So because of their royal history, they are. There's a tribe I don't want to mention that you people they think their chiefdom is the best. Meanwhile, we're all the same under the constitution. So we bring intervention. We have, when I say Western education, it's as if informal education, but Western education gives us more variables to correct those wrongs. So let's not sweep it under the carpet. Otherwise, other generations will suffer this. Let's correct it. I mean, I believe that. For example, in conclusion, white people, we are the world has pointed out to that they are racist, they discriminate, and they are working on this. That's one thing I like about the white people. When you bring in, so now they try to intermarry or they do cross-cultural exchanges. I've had white girls coming over to Africa just because they want to kill that perception of discrimination, and one even got married, like deliberately to also whatever. But we will not do that.
Okay, but, well, that's one breath of it. Let me open the phone lines because I have a counter argument to that. 020710,001. You can call us into the studio. Let's have some conversations around family influence in relationship. Is it a necessity or it's a bother? Let's hear your thoughts on the matter. 020710,001. Lucy.
Yes, I also want to say that he said we should correct it, unless, of course, what he is thinking of correcting that perception is like the community, the group coming together to work at it. But what I wanted to say is that with Smart experience of having 3 away friends, they are working on a correction from that corner. You see, that is why I said unless you related it to the white, you want the entire community to come together and
accept it.
And work on it.
Nkrumah did that by doing the border
my counter argument
boarding school system.
KB,
it was a deliberate policy to integrate us.
KB,
he didn't wish it away.
My counter argument
is the boarding school system has
my present best friend. The mother calls me son.
So from that angle, correction is being made.
Okay, so
she's probably Christian.
Let me
establish something. She's probably Christian. You are also Christian. She's probably peri-urban. You're also peri-urban. She's probably slightly educated.
We should go to your Fanchinico area. That's what you're saying.
So there are things that there are commonalities that will make her call you son.
You are not allowing.
If you were probably an Islamic person, she would have had a reservation.
Let him finish.
The argument was not based on religious grounds.
You didn't get that.
I'm saying that the argument
is too strong. The
argument was not based on religious grounds.
No, it
I was
wasn't.
just giving reasons why she can call you son.
No, but he has
too deluded.
But that is
how about you
reason.
listen to the original
The
reason?
people who are also complaining are complaining about Christian Evans.
Yes.
That's the point I'm making.
So what is it about the airway? Let's take it as a case study, and if there's a problem, let's
not make it.
If it's just a hoax, let's debunk it and let's move on.
This is what I tell people.
Because airway women are suffering too much.
This is what I tell people. When people build values, they build principles, they build. It has nothing to do with their religious background
at all.
Someone can be very Christian but very wicked.
I was going to say
no, it's a matter of the flesh.
No, brother, no. I was born into the Catholic Church. I was born in fact, I'm the only charismatic in my family. Well, my mother's side of the family. Yes, I am. And so when I was growing up, when you're in the church, they call them societies.
Yeah.
And these societies were to foster, thank you very much, unity and all these things.
Those are reasons.
But strangely enough, I never found myself drawn to any of them because they were divided according to tribal lines, which was very strange.
Really?
Oh yes,
exactly.
Oh yes.
Oh, wow.
You see, so
It
we
is
have
there.
to
really?
Yes, it is there.
We've
madam,
it under the
KB, we see it a lot, even in our corporate organization.
Yeah, so let's fix it. It's a problem. We are sweeping it.
It's a human problem, not a tribe problem. Always.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I gave the white people as an example. When we call them out, they try to integrate.
Have you not experienced today in some of the states? In some of the state departments, I'm trying to address the issue of a behavioral thing and not necessarily a tribal thing. So your argument is this person may have found Christ, their upbringing was different, they raised them differently. I'm saying that there are certain people that have certain traits and it's purely behavioral. And now this is why
it's nothing to do with Christ.
You can step into a company, especially the State Department. There is a predominant tribe in there.
Oh yes.
And when they get there, their ultimate goal is to bring their persons,
which isn't a bad thing anyway.
I have also worked in a different sector where the people there were a particular tribe, and anytime they came into the newsroom, they spoke their language, which was wrong according to company policy. You understand me?
Yes, you're right.
In this case, I have also met people who were a particular tribe, but whenever I was with them, I never felt like an outsider.
Yeah.
So
They were sellouts.
No, you see, and that's how it's supposed to be.
So
Confident
the
policy,
argument
like
I'm
you said.
making is not purely religious background. Because if you do religious background,
No,
you
no,
can,
I use one variable. I'm
Yes.
saying she's calling you son because
No,
you are probably she's probably not a Muslim.
No, that's not
she's
it.
probably a Christian.
No,
She's
that's
very
not
urban.
it.
She's have
No,
some level
no,
of education
no,
exposure
that's
as
not
you
it.
have.
That's
No,
not
I'm
it.
saying that
Yeah, I understand,
when
but-
people will coexist,
When they are on the same lines.
yeah, there are things that
Commonalities, things that
and
As
it
I
makes
said.
it easier for humans with
To
that's why
relate.
racism, we can never probably fully solve it to Christ, and because whether I
can-
like it or melanin and non-melanated people, they even look different in the first place.
but you know that there are people who have parents who only show up in church on 31st night. But
Do
those
they even,
parents,
some don't even come at all.
those parents treat them better.
No, they don't
Than
define
those
their
who
spirituality
step
with
in church
Sunday church
24/7.
attendance. That is that's what you're trying to say.
Charlie, KB.
Not everybody defines
Wait.
their spirituality with marking church attendance.
And that's
so
what
that
you're
one,
saying.
yeah, men know
That's
where
what you're
they are.
saying. I'm saying that you cannot gauge somebody's behavior just because they are Christian.
Oh, no,
because
no,
they can
I just use
disappoint
one aspect, which is religion, which
All
has
right.
subcultural innuendos. Anyway,
We have a lot of messages on this particular topic. So a lot of messages. And okay, so I'm told there is a caller on the line. Hello, good afternoon. Your name and where you're calling us from?
it's calling from.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Your,
This is Peter. I'm calling from Tamale.
okay, Peter from Tamale, let's hear you.
All right. So I'm enjoying the conversation, and I like how controversial to do. Sometimes to make the argument very interesting. I
Yeah.
want to say that with the topic you are discussing, I think that to a very large extent, almost all the rumors we hear or negative comments we hear about certain tribes, if you really pay attention to it, you'll find some sort of truth in them. You know, but I think that assertion is probably an average assertion. You could pick individuals who may be very different. They could even be worse or better. Just like maybe in school, they'll say average performance was 10 out of 20.
Yeah.
Or you find somebody getting 19 out of 10, somebody getting 2 out of 20.
Yeah.
So personally, I think that we should get to know people for themselves as individuals. You see, there are two main things that inform our attitude. We could talk about genetics, but to a very large extent, environment of the place a greater role in how we react to things.
Yeah.
Somebody may be, for example, let's say an Ewe, he may be called an neglector or whatever, but probably he was raised all throughout his life, he was raised in people. So if he has not mentioned his name to you, you may even think he's a fancy. And you may find some fancy traits in him. And so if you blindly say that based on history, Ewes are this, and so don't go into this family, and you're forgetting that in some extreme cases, an individual may be different, then I think you'll be making a wrong. So I certainly think that parents should get to know the individual for himself, who is he, what's his background, and then assess him as an individual. However, also as Africans, since we are getting married into a family, though the person may be fine, the general family may have issues. And then the lady, for the scenario is that the lady should be exposed to this, that though the man you want to marry, you love him and he may be very fine, you are married into a bigger family, and you can go and meet a troublesome auntie, a troublesome uncle. So that if she's exposed to all these things and she still wants to go ahead, fair enough.
Okay.
But parents shouldn't take that in transposition, that because of 20 years ago, fancies did this to the Ashanti, so don't go into a fancy. And I think it's quite unfair to our current generation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Peter. Brilliant submission coming all the way from Tamale. Caller Peter is actually a very, very good follower of the show. Says that his main man is KB. He makes that show.
I meant he's calling from Shiashi.
No. Well, there's someone Nyako from Oshim in Kumasi. Is he Oshim?
I want you.
Oshim in Kumasi. The chemical and physics of bonding is possible in groupings.
Hey, wait.
If the biological bonding is of same
chemistry
sex,
student.
allow me to read the
What
message.
is
My
this,
bad.
bruh?
The intercommunication skills is easy to occur, but friendship is different from marriage, where two mindsets become one mind. So for the chemical bonding, it is linked to production. Physics bonding is close to magnetic fields law, but in biological systems, the process of evolution is the law. One cannot be the same after any bonding. Well,
I don't mean
Problem of the day. Problem of the day.
This is Mark. Mark is texting us from Boko. Says that good afternoon. Please, I want the Krobo lady to clarify the misconception about the Krobo being prostitutes cursed by Okonfa-Noche. Also about the tribalistic sentiment on marriages. It is real. Growing up from our communities, there are mental pictures being created by our people about other tribes, which serve as a guide. So it means that the infantile stage, the messages we receive.
That is what. See, it's not even infantile. It's your formative.
He says, personally, I don't have interest in any Southern girl, irrespective of your tribal lineage, because of the common belief that they are not faithful in their marriages.
I've heard differently from the girls up there.
The communication is that when he was growing up, he was told that the Southerners, hey, they don't
and I'm pretty sure he schooled all his life.
I agree. So that is why I said if you are able to travel to other
female,
places,
mutilation is privileged up there. Apparently, they cut that sensitive part of their
to prevent them
so
from
you don't even test.
Yes, but
that's the problem. But
that is why
it's not people.
Let me finish all the messages.
But I've heard differently from their people. I think they are very promiscuous.
The people who make this are people that are living in a secluded area. They don't travel to mingle with the others. They don't travel to mingle with others from other places.
Barnabas Clement Ancheba, good friend, from Facebook. He says that I know of cases where they do the research, not necessarily by going to the place, but by asking questions about the family. Now, when I was getting married, I did all the research and informed my family. To my surprise, they just asked someone that same place,
someone who stays there,
someone from that same place about the family, and they were okay. The truth is, all these things like denominational differences is very important. What the men of God see and say doesn't always represent the now. They see the future and the plans of God. So you can come without the Range Rover keys, but in the future it will come.
So you see, the interpretation and understanding of the person receiving the prophecy is also.
I believe it's basically what the person. I think next week
what you do after
we'll go into the denominational differences because it matters. Let me come to Reverend Dr. Eliphas Ankra Kutin. He says marriages that family disagrees with mostly ends in divorce.
Really? What is ground?
This one.
I say let's bring science. Let's pick a caller.
One can say all of it.
Hello, good afternoon. Your name and where you're calling from?
Usually, my name is Dr. Ata, calling from Swedro.
Your name is?
Dorcas, calling from Swedro.
Dorcas.
Okay.
Ata, calling from Swedro.
Dorcas, talk to us.
I think with the investigations on the family, to some extent, it's necessary. But sometimes when we go too much, I realize that some family members who have problem with the person getting into marriage may give wrong information about the particular person that we are going to marry. For instance, if you get a family where maybe by the grace of God, that nuclear family has come to know Christ, but the extended family still have not known Christ. When you go to investigate much, sometimes the extended family might give you some information misleading, and you may think that the person that you are going to marry is bad. So sometimes we need the investigation to be much on the nuclear family and the person involved. When the person is in Christ, you know that sometimes because of some persecutions and other things, they may give you wrong information. So we should rather investigate, I think, we should rather investigate more on the person's Christ-like life. Whether the person has the fruit of the Spirit. If the person has the fruit of the Spirit and is rooted in Christ, and you think that you can go with the person, and we see that the family is good, I think we can go. If the person is from maybe a tribe or a family that, excuse me to say, they kind of prostitution can be found, some kind of nasty things. And by the grace of God, the person has come to know Christ, and you want to delve deep into those things. You would think that the person is also one of them.
Okay.
For instance, I am from the north. I have married a southerner, and we are all sometimes some of the things I hear them say. Me growing up in the north, I never heard of it because my father knew Christ, my mother knew Christ. They built me in Christ. So when I hear some of the things they say, I become surprised. So all these things in the north, and I've not heard of it. I've never experienced. My mom and my dad never come in. They don't fight. We grew up in a loving home. So why is it that all these things are coming up? And my marriage is going on well. So when the thing is much on Christ, I think it's better than the investigation too much.
Thank you so much, Dorcas, for adding your voice to the conversation. But my only problem is in Africa we don't marry individuals. Okay, you can you're married to a family and you're like, oh my God, I mean, where have I just appeared? Like, this person has a problem with this person has a problem with this, and sometimes you can feel the partner struggling to even explain themselves. That they are not like that. Babe, I beg you,
that's what I was telling you. Let's have a scientific poll of the innuendos and fix it. Let's our straight approach too much.
Gabriel from Oyebi says, hi, I love the topic. Please, the whole problem is largely due to money and influence. Money. There are other nationalities marrying Ghanaians, and their families have nothing against it.
It's true,
because the man is well-to-do financially, or he's popular. Now, I don't really like watching TV, but I came across your program for the first time, and it made me stay glued. Oh, round of applause. It made me stay glued to my TV. I really love the fact that you are all youth discussing such a topic, and you're doing so well on it. Bob Mensah from Takrade. We have a caller on the line. Hello, good afternoon. You're welcome to Be Frank.
Good afternoon.
Your name and where you're calling from, sir?
My name is Eric Sakada. I'm calling from Konongo.
Okay, let's hear you, sir.
I believe that all boils down to the agreement between the two parties. Amos 3 verse 3 says, how can two work together unless they agree? So if you do agree that this is how our relationship is going to go, I don't think that you can make any room for many kind of influences whatsoever. It depends on the two couples what they decide to agree on. So if they decide to agree, the Bible says that a man shall leave his father and his mother and father and be joined together with his wife. So if both of them do agree, and it has nothing to do with the tribe and everything. As far as that they decide to put their mind to a particular goal, that is what a relationship is supposed to be about. And I think the best of it is to be on Christ. So if you know your rules defined by Christ, I don't think there should be any problem. These tradition things, the Bible even says that you make the power of God of non-effect because of the traditions. So I believe that sometimes they need to know to let go if they are married, but they are now moving forward to a particular goal. So if they are letting go of their past influences, their relationships, their families, yes, you can go to them from time to time, but you should know your limits because you are now married. I think if they know this, they properly define. It has nothing to do with their tribes and everything. Yeah, those things are there, but there's also the idea of Christ, because you move from the old things, you become a new creature. So all things are past. So if you know, they know they are rightly defined in Christ. I don't think that all these past things, what do we call it?
The issues of negative influence. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Let's go back to some of the messages. Enoch from Sampa says, good afternoon. I think the perception about intertribal marriages depends on the experiences of the relatives to the tribe they intend going into. And this is Samuel Kweku Kranche from Dowenya. He says, good afternoon, team. First of all, I want to thank you for this wonderful program. I really love the topics you bring on board to discuss. There are issues that have been with us for long, and it's still going on in our family, society, and the country at large. I agree that it is a necessity for a true Christian parent to be involved when their son or daughter is getting married. The tribe issue is important, but how we handle it is key. Please, we shouldn't separate the faith tribe discussion from the normal tribe discussion. Barnabas Clement Antiba comes back again to say, if we want to use others' perception to relate with others, then you will be hurting yourself. These perceptions are not generational, they are individualistic, and I agree with that message. You know, now from Daniel Kwejo Ado from YouTube, he says, I'm enjoying the discussion, and a special greeting to Pastor Newton. Elikem, you call Elikem? Hey, wow, okay. Family is key in marriage. I think the problem is we have neglected tradition. Christians have not taken God serious in their relationship or in their marriages. Whatever issue that comes up, mother, father saying I disagree, ask the person for the reason and take it to God. You see, the thing is that some parents don't want to even explain. That is also another bane.
Yes.
Some parents don't want to explain. Problem they say.
Yes.
Problem they say. And that is also a very difficult thing. If you're not a Christian, rely on the person who agrees with you to check with you. Harrison from Donkokrum. Now, 2 callers, Dorcas and also the man from Konongo. My worry is they keep saying that let us marry the Christian life with yourselves. But you see, nobody marries an individual in the African setting. Nobody. And most times, if it were to be just yourself and your partner, it would have been a field day. It's always the outsiders. There is an auntie who is saying that you can't have a regular ceremony. There must be reception. There must be this.
So
if the man can,
it's anyone shaka.
You bring your money.
Party.
No, because I've heard somebody say that a marriage is not about the couple; it's actually about the parents.
It's families.
No, it's about the parents.
Okay.
I said I have
Let's pick this caller quickly. Hello, good afternoon. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah.
Yes.
This Matt.
Say again.
Yeah, this Matt.
This Smart?
Yes.
Okay, Smart, so let's hear you.
Yes, this Matt.
Bismarck. Okay, Bismarck. Let's hear you, Bismarck.
Okay, so what's that?
You should turn down his TV set.
Yes.
Bismarck, could you please turn down the volume on your TV set? We are getting feedback in the studio. And you can talk to me from your phone. Okay, this is much better. You can talk to us.
I hope it's better now.
All right, talk to us now.
Okay, so I said concerning family having a say on your relationship matters, it is true. And then what I would like to say is that growing up from our various communities, I think the family and the community always have a major say on your decision, because your decision about other tribes is what you heard from your family and what you heard from the community. So let's take Northerners, like I'm from Boku.
Okay.
Boku, for instance. What we heard about Southerners is the reason why we don't have any interest in marrying any of them.
That person said the same thing.
Because we have certain beliefs that when your wife goes outside and cheats and comes out, there's going to be a death issues in the family. And here is the case. They're saying that Southerners, they are not all that faithful, yes. Okay. They are not all that faithful in their marriage. So how will you then go and marry? When you know that when you bring them there, they are not going to be faithful. So because of this particular misconception, it has taken our interest away from Southerners. And then that same way also applies to Southerners. We heard them saying that Northerners, we are poor, we are this. They are having some misconception about us. So that same way, when you meet, there's no connections at all because of what we heard from the family and what we heard from the community. So we should entreat that parents and communities take away those misconceptions. They shouldn't create any negative picture about any particular tribe and section of people, so that we will have our free will to choose our relationships or our partners. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Bismarck. Wonderful submission coming in there. Some of the narrative we have built over the years, some of these narratives, some may have experienced some, and they have gone to the town or that community with that story, that experience, and all of a sudden
fix it, because this thing about if you cheat, the people will die. Let's check the number of Southerners who have cheated, the number of deaths in the, and then we can draw a correlation.
No, he was saying that like up north,
Yes, they
there's
believe that sadness.
If no,
When the lady-
they believe that if a lady cheats on a man,
somebody will die.
in there,
Somebody
yes.
in the
Aha, you have gone to do your cheating. Why should I die? Hey, God too, you get problem.
This is not God.
say that.
This one is not God.
Don't add
So is
God
it that?
to it.
So it's not God.
Yeah.
Well, Jennifer says my
That's-
mom.
that's
Small
their
God.
belief.
Some
Jennifer
yarrow
says
God,
my
some-
mom did not want any of her children to marry from our hometown or live there with their family, and this is why it was not against the tribe, because all my older siblings married Fantis. For her, it is because she did not wish her children to be limited to their life in the village, and somehow the challenges that comes with it. So she said she would feel sad if she went to the farm and saw her daughter also going to the farm with her husband, with her child at her back.
Oh.
So I had a boyfriend who was an Ashanti whose mother was not pleased that I am a Fanti. So it happens. It happens. So clearly there are a lot of things that are happening, but
With
then
that one we can
let's
solve
take-
it by having mechanized farming. Then they will make agric sexy, so that when they love each other, they will marry more pesa.
so that there will be tractors- there will be
they'll be
tractors
tractors,
on the
yeah.
farm. Anyway, your last comments on the we dealt with just the tribal issue today. Next week, God willing, we'll look at the denomination. We didn't go deep. We'll look at the denominational thing. The denominational thing that now we are hearing that in certain churches people are asked not to marry from other churches. But anyway,
That is true. Even the charismatic faith.
Pastor Newton, let's have your final
Okay,
thoughts.
so I would just advise, let's give room. I believe in what KB said at some point, that sometimes to those tribes to make an effort to
Clean their reputation.
clean their reputation of why blah. But as I said, sometimes we cover it up that we are brightening our corner, so we can't go and take up
Where you are.
Yeah, we can't take up the whole tribe's problem. So,
we
let
start from somewhere.
Yeah, so let's work on ourselves, as we said, and let's Christ reflecting on
Okay,
KB.
so I'm saying in this case, when it comes to behavior, you can correct it with science. Let's teach Ghanaian history about everybody's tribes, and let's find a converging point. That's it. Knowledge.
All right.
But there's a curriculum that brought that, and they were demeaning some tribes in the textbooks. So
Anyway,
it's also
Let's
another-
not go there.
Ginger.
Well, mine is let's first and foremost understand that we all have internal biases that nobody knows about.
Yeah.
They are subconscious biases that over the years we felt we have dealt with, but we haven't dealt with it. So in our bid to conform and appear normal and okay, we have let those things slide, but they're affecting us, and they drive our behavior one way or the other, because parents are very perceptive. The families, maybe sometimes you are speaking, your body is saying something else, but your mouth is also saying another thing. When it comes to the man, sometimes certain comments you pass about your intended or beloved is what the parents would latch onto and grow bigger. So in our dealings with the opposite sex and everything, we should also take our time to work on our own pain and our own hurts, and learn to go deep within ourselves, bring up these issues, deal with them, heal from them. That way, when our parents come in, we don't project off of what they are saying.
Lucy.
Yeah. Okay. So all that I would like to say is that we should be open to learn more. We say knowledge has a bound, but are we learning? Are we acquiring the knowledge? Let's not be quick to push aside the things we don't understand, and that is what we do. When we don't understand something, we demonize it. We attach evil
give a
to
dog
it.
a bad
We
name
make
and hang
it
it.
bad. We make it look bad because we don't understand it.
True.
But so we should open ourselves to learning about it, so that we'll get a clearer and a broader picture on it to make, informed decisions. Yeah.
A special thank you to all our viewers and our texters for the comments they sent in and the phone calls that came through. My name is Smart Station Nixon. Until next time, don't forget, family influencing relationship. We are asking the question still: is it a necessity or a bother? In the studios today was KB the MC, Pastor Newton, Miss Ginger, Lucy, and myself, the captain of the ship. Special thank you to the production team. Until next time, bye bye. Enjoy the rest of your day.